Let's talk, let's talk. What you wanna talk about? Let's talk, let's talk. What you wanna talk about? Kitchen talk, let's talk. What you wanna talk about? Kitchen talk, let's talk. Conversations that cool. Kitchen talk, let's talk. What you wanna talk about? Kitchen talk, let's talk. Conversations that cool. Let's talk, let's talk. What you wanna talk about? Let's talk, let's talk. What you wanna talk about?
Hey.
Hey.
Okay, I don't know why I'm frozen.
I was about to say, where you at?
I mean, I'm right here, but for some reason I'm frozen. I don't get it,
You in the dark right now.
I know I'm looking at myself with a blank screen, and I'm looking at myself down in the corner with a frozen picture. Let me take myself out.
This is Kitchen Talk.
Right.
CTC, conversations that cook.
And that is what they do. That is what they do. How are you, sir?
I am working on Greater.
As always.
Yes, ma'am. How are you?
I am I'm doing all right. I will not complain.
You don't need to.
I will not. You're right. Absolutely.
You don't even need to.
Absolutely. I do not need to, but sometimes venting helps.
Yes, it does.
Sometimes
I think the thing we
venting
need
helps.
to learn is venting to who.
Sure.
Because if it's going to the wrong place and the wrong person, it's going to be actually probably worse than better.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. I don't know why.
Is your camera on forward facing or backward facing?
No, I was just in here and it was fine. I don't know what just happened.
Your camera might be back on the. It's a two-way camera. You might have it. There you go. Well, that's your picture.
No, that's my picture. I'm cute though.
Well, that's not new. Oh man, you gave some good topics to chop on.
Oh my goodness, right?
Yes.
Although, okay, I'm not gonna fuss at y'all right now, but yes, definitely. I want us to tackle some of these topics. Let me try this camera. Nope, still frozen.
Interesting.
This is very interesting.
I think it might be it's the back camera, not the front camera.
What do you mean the back camera? I don't understand.
So your laptop can show either forward or backward. So it might be that, or you may have something on the screen covering the camera.
Nope, nothing on the screen covering the camera.
Yeah. What type of computer is it?
It's a Surface Pro.
Oh yeah, so you have a back camera.
So it says Surface Pro camera front.
And is there a rear camera? Sorry for the technical difficulties. But Lisa will be right back. Okay. There you go.
So this is actually not me, or it is me.
That's your cell phone. Turn your cell phone off. Or turn the volume down. There you go.
Okay, so this is me. I'm in the studio trying to look at the studio. So, this is crazy.
Okay. Get your
So
talk. CTC.
right.
Conversations
I'm
that-
like, what is going on today?
Oh God.
This is crazy.
It's all
So I
good.
gotta try. Oh, wait.
Now you got it right. There you go.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
you
know if
good.
I like this.
Yeah, you good.
Okay, I'm good.
You got your hair did.
Oh, we haven't seen each other in a while then, huh?
Oh, what, last week?
Oh, well, this is my same hair that I had last week.
Or was it the week before that?
Week before that.
It was a week before that.
No, actually, friends, I haven't seen you in about 3 weeks.
Yeah, you might be right on that. If not 4.
Maybe. Because, we didn't do... April was kind of crazy for us.
No, we didn't. I think there was a couple of shows where I was missing or you were missing, and there was a lot going on.
Yeah.
So we didn't have the conversations because we were living the life.
Living the life. Right. That
There was
part.
not a time to sit and chat.
So, yeah. So you missed this whole hairdo right here, friends.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. I got to go back and watch the show with the pastor.
Oh,
Got to go back.
It was so good.
I had a feeling it was
so good. It was so good. Yeah, you definitely got to go back and watch it.
Yeah.
So it was so good that there definitely is, like, our voting kind of sparks that we keep talking about it.
Right.
It was like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like that.
Okay.
So we will definitely keep talking about the church being whack.
Was that one of the topics that we were going to talk about? What's the guy's name who married Shaquille O'Neal's wife?
Kevon something.
Yeah, where he shushed one of his
So no, I think that was recent. That was after we talked. I think that just happened.
Yeah, it did. It's kind of fresh.
But yeah, I saw a little bit of it, a clip of it from Tamron Hall.
That's why I saw it.
Yeah.
That's
a whole discussion. Yeah.
Do you agree or disagree?
I agree. I agree.
But you feel like what? There needs to be order in the house.
I agree in the sense that yes, there does need to be order in the house.
Right.
And that if the man of God is spiritually in tune, then he knows, like he said, what is worship and what is noise. And if something is being distracting.
Got you.
And there is definitely a difference. If you have been in a service,
right,
and you're spiritually in tune with what's going on, you know when there is a move of God or a distraction. My challenge with it is because everything is on social media now. We stream everything.
Yeah.
You have people who are either babes in Christ.
Yeah.
Or they don't believe in this what we doing. Right. And so they take that, twist it, and it becomes something else. And so you then could possibly get in this posture of what's gonna make my church look bad, or what's gonna make me look bad.
Yeah.
And so then you start worrying about that rather than doing what God said do.
And was it him being in the spirit or him being in himself? And is there like, okay, I've talked to this person, I've done it enough, but now I'm in my feelings because I've already told you that this is not how we operate, and you still doing you. You're still not making us look good. So now,
so the Bible talks about when something happens, you first go to the person.
Right.
You talk to the person. Y'all try to reconcile it. Mm-hmm. If it does not get reconciled, you call a witness or you call somebody else. Mm-hmm. If it still doesn't get reconciled, you call the church or something of that nature. I'm paraphrasing. And so then at some point, you just have to cut it off and turn that person over. Mm. And I think was his process. So I don't think he was so much in his feelings as he was, I'm gonna have to do this. Because as a human person, and you gotta do what God say do, and it's not gonna be popular, it's not gonna look good. So there's a struggle war within yourself. Mm-hmm. Cause I'm sure he knew he was gonna get some backlash.
I don't know if he knew. I think he knew after the fact. I think
no, I'm sure he knew. Especially if you streaming. First of all, you streaming. Second of all, y'all got a reality TV show, so you know everybody in y'all business.
I didn't know he had a reality TV show.
Yeah, they have a reality TV show. At least they used to.
Well, it makes sense because she's one of the, I think, producers of
the Basketball Wives.
Basketball Wives, yeah.
Yeah. So you know you're a public figure, so to speak.
Yeah.
And so everything you do gonna be scrutinized. Mm. And so you do have that concern, I think. I mean, all of us, as much as we say, I don't care what people think about me, we do.
And I think that's what I meant. To a certain degree. Like, okay, now I'm gonna leave the pastor behind because I got into my own feelings now. Right.
I don't think he was in his feelings. I don't think he was in his feelings. I think he was. Well, I mean, I wasn't there, so. But from what I saw, I think it was like he was trying not to have to say it.
Right.
But because God needs to move. But then, I guess on the flip side of that is, why didn't he let God shut her up?
Well,
but even in that.
But if she's worshiping and celebrating, and that's her way of releasing.
But if you, okay. Again, depending on, I think a lot of factors are involved. So depending on how long you've been in the church sometimes, and then depending on your experiences with church, right? So you can discern a cry.
I can go with that. Okay.
And so even just a little clip that I heard,
right,
in my opinion, it was not a celebratory worship. It was not really, in my opinion, just listening to the little bit of the clip,
right.
it didn't seem to be a worship cry.
But that's the thing. Who defines that? How does that look? Because it
That's
could
what I
be
said.
different for everybody.
Right. That's what I said. In my opinion, and in his opinion.
Yeah.
But beyond our opinions, he was in the service being led by God.
Yep.
And we can only trust God.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we sit in this seat of judgment that does not belong to us.
Yep. Oh, I'm not judging. I'm just playing. You know how I like to.
Yeah.
I got to look at both sides, all sides, and say, okay, you know what? You're right, or you're wrong, and it's okay for him to be wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the other thing. You know what? I was in my feelings. I told you 20 times that this is not how we roll over here, and you still want to do it. The other thing is, was she doing it for God or was she doing it for the vine? Because you know this is online, so now this is my time to shine, so I can be seen. But that's not what we're trying to do.
But if you notice, here's the other thing. To me, as soon as he said hush, she stopped. And again, in my opinion,
right,
if it's real and it's worship,
it's gonna be hard to
stop it.
You can't stop it. Hard to stop.
You cannot stop it. And from my personal experience, if the house is quiet and I'm feeling some kind of way, I'm hitting the door. I'm going out. Because what I'm feeling is not necessarily what's going on in the house. And I have been in situations where I am in the pulpit doing offering and just get this overwhelming flashback of how good God has been. And I know y'all not in the place that I am in right now.
Yeah.
I would turn the microphone over and have turned it over and went out and praise God the way I wanted to praise God.
Right.
And then
that was your moment.
So I'm not interrupting or being a distraction of what is going on in that moment. But on the flip side of that, I have been in service, have a wonderful flashback of God's goodness, and spark and seen this take over the whole church.
And there it is right there. Because she could have been the spark.
She was not the spark.
That I'm saying.
No. If you watch it, friends, people were already in worship, right?
Yeah.
People were already in worship.
Yeah.
What she did not make a different kind of worship break out.
Got you.
So, but somebody else just went through that, Kim Burrell. So she was up preaching and she went into a song and this lady decided to join in. And she was saying, no, just give it a minute. Just be quiet for a minute.
I saw that. Yeah.
Don't sing with me. God is using me.
Yeah.
God is using me. Don't sing with me. And the lady kept singing. And Kim say, let the mask work for you. Because she had on the
mask. Oh, God.
I mean, in some ways, it's hilarious, right? It's funny.
Yeah, again, you don't know not everybody understands
the world does not understand. The Bible talks about we done went a whole nother place.
Yeah.
But the Bible talks about, again, I'm paraphrasing, it talks about the foolishness of preaching.
Yeah.
And some people just don't comprehend it.
Yeah.
They don't comprehend the things that go on in different types of services, right?
Yeah.
So everybody's service is not for you.
That's
Some
true.
people can do the quiet service.
Right.
Just the preacher get up like Joel Osteen or whatever and just give you this straight word. And some people need the hoop and the holler.
Yeah.
I enjoy all the shenanigans. All of it. All of it. You give me a preacher that has given me a good word, and then after that good word, he go walk in pews. I'm good. I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. But that's not for everybody. Some people say that's too much.
Yeah.
The whole running around of the church.
Yeah.
Some people say that's too much.
But some people need it.
But for some people,
that's what they need.
That's their expression.
Correct.
So
you got to work what works for you.
Right. So we can't be too, judgy.
No. Correct. And that's exactly where I was. I'm like, well, that might be how she needed to express herself. But I think there is also decency and decorum that should always happen too.
Absolutely.
Like you know when you out of line.
Absolutely.
You know when this is not the right place and the right time. And when it's time, when it's time.
Absolutely. And the danger of it is the person who really needs salvation and deliverance
Correct.
won't get it because of the distraction.
Correct. What did you think about the pastor that was preaching and the guy pulled out a gun? Did you see that?
I did not see it, but I heard about it on, I think I was listening to Erica Campbell show the other morning, and they talked about how the gun jammed.
The gun jammed. He literally was point aim straight up. That bullet was for that pastor. It's nothing but God that he did not get shot. And then one of the guys in the audience jumped into action and tackled them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, whoa. This guy walked in straight. Here's your bullet today. Like, you gonna die today.
You just I'm gonna tell you that I am what everybody already know. I'm Christian. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus, and I believe in the Holy Ghost.
Right.
And the things that go on, and the miracles, and the blessings, and the signs, and the wonders, it will blow your mind.
Yeah. And it's recorded. That's it. You got to see it. It's like, oh wow.
No, I hadn't seen it. I could not imagine how he felt in that moment.
Yeah, and you looking down the barrel. Like, that's like, wow.
I could not imagine. And the other thing that I think terrifies me or horrifies me is how you got all the way up in front of
all the way up to the front. All the way up to the front.
All the way up to the front.
I'm talking about straight up to the front of the church, point blank. And while the pastor's talking now.
Yeah. But then if we have security at the door, people have a problem with that. Why they gotta have security? Hello?
You don't know who walking into the place. A la Malcolm X. Malcolm X said, don't do it now, but don't touch them. Just let them come in. You don't know what people carrying. Speaking about carrying.
Speaking of carrying, so did you see the map that I sent you all? How of all of those states that allow teachers to have guns on campus in their classrooms. So you want to cut down on the mass shootings at school. By adding more guns?
I understand the logic, to be honest with you. And I know most people are like, what? I understand the logic. I think it's, you know what, if they know that there's somebody else on campus besides a police officer, there are multiple people who are on campus who are armed and who are ready to defend the classroom and the space, then that person's gonna think twice on coming on campus because he knows. And I, to a certain degree, I get it. But the problem is, it's not the gun, it's the person who holds the gun, right? Does this person has enough sense? Is this person going to be able to really conduct themselves? You know, our kids nowadays, you got a kindergarten class that can make a grown lady cry. So if you got a gun and these kids get on your nerves, they did, you know, we've seen the body slams and the teachers attacking students and vice versa, student attacking teachers. So if I'm a student and I'm gonna attack the teacher, hey, I got a gun, I'm gonna protect myself. You're not gonna run up on me because you know I'm protecting. And if they do, it's a bad mix. I understand why, but I'm like, not everybody who's in that classroom has the ability and probably has the skill sets and the discipline. You have police officers who don't have that type of discipline.
So here's where I gotta poke a hole in one or two of your statements. Number one,
as usual.
This is what we do. Number one, when you said the person that's gonna do the mass shooting will think twice because they know more people have guns on campus.
Right.
A person that is coming to a school to do a mass shooting is not a rational being. No, they're not gonna care. They're not gonna care who got a gun and who don't.
I think most of these people have thought about what they were going to do.
Sure, I agree with you on that part.
To the T.
But I don't think that they are rational, number one. Okay. And two, I don't think that they care if they get killed. So what difference does it make if everybody got a gun?
Yeah.
Two, I don't see how adding more guns to the mix can't even stop mass shootings. To me, you should not allow somebody to have a gun that could kill or shoot multiple bullets in seconds. Who needs that?
Yeah.
But instead of you controlling that part, you just want to add more guns?
Yeah.
But I don't think to me that don't make sense.
I'd see they didn't say what type of guns either. So that's another piece. What type of gun will the teacher have?
Well, if a mass shooter got an assault rifle,
I don't think
the teacher have an assault rifle too?
I don't think the teacher will have an assault rifle.
Well, how do we know? Because the other thing they said, friends, was they don't have to tell the parents.
Ooh.
In Tennessee, they don't have to tell the parents that they got a gun in their classroom.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
It boggles my mind. And back to the voting piece. It boggles my mind how these lawmakers are looking out for the best interest of me, and they not.
Well, audience, friends, family, I didn't say anything about voting this time. Lisa brought it up. Well, we are in voting season.
We
So
are in
please
voting
make sure
season.
you are registered to vote.
Absolutely. I don't understand this logic of, and I keep saying it, but I just really don't understand the logic of adding more guns. It's like adding more fuel to the fire.
Yep.
Number one, okay, let's even go right here. You don't even pay teachers enough to be security guards, to be police now. You giving them police duties.
Yeah. You a deputy.
They can barely teach the children with all the other stuff on top of that.
And with the other thing is, most of these schools do have a police,
a resource
officer on campus. So it is sad to see that this is where we are, where we're going to need multiple people. And again, it's for me is, I don't think everybody who has that power understand how much power they actually have. And if a person, I've gone into schools where the teacher was frazzled. I'm talking about stress, shaking. I'm like, I don't know if, what are we doing to ensure that this teacher is mentally able to do that? To handle a gun?
Exactly. Like, are you training them? Are you giving them training on how to do, what is it called, an open shooter or active shooter?
Yeah, active shooter scenarios.
So that's one more thing. That's one more thing that you want them to learn or train for, and you barely paying them to teach.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, and we're thinking about teacher versus student. Not maybe it was at least a month or two ago, they were the two teachers that were fighting each other on campus. And it's not the first time that I've seen that. I've heard that. You may have teachers who have issues with each other, but because I'm mad now and I have the tool, okay, I lost it. So today I'm losing it. They call it going postal. So now you got teachers going. It's like,
right.
I see why you said that, but I don't think you thought that through all the way, right? Like, there's too many scenarios where that weapon will not be used for what you thought it would be used for.
Exactly.
And what if you put the weapon down and you go to lunch and walk away? I know you're supposed to keep it on you, but you know what? Today it's in my side. I just don't like the feeling. So I'm gonna put it on my desk. Kid walks in, it's too much.
It really is.
It's too much.
It does not make sense to me.
Yeah. It's too, especially when you're talking about teachers working with some of our teenagers, right? So they're already trying to figure out their emotions, and like I said, they could come in with a bad attitude and a bad such and such that day, right? Don't make them a bad student. It's just they had a bad moment, right? But now you and your feelings going back to the pastor,
right? And you and your teenagers that could likely be bigger than you. Like, I can't, like, if I was a teacher, I could only do kindergarten, first grade, second grade. By third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, they almost tall as me.
Listen, there's something in the water, and these kids are going fast.
It's the chicken. It's the hormones that they feeding the chickens.
But yeah, you're right. Again, the child is now, upset and is coming at you. Child might be bigger than you.
Yep.
And then now here you go trying to defend yourself.
Yep.
Child loses their life because of a moment
Right.
they were having, not because of this is who they are.
Right.
Like, yeah, I got where you was coming from, but I don't think you thought it all the way through.
I don't get where you coming from with arming teachers. I'm sorry, I just don't.
At the end of the day, I don't think it's a great. As you know, I don't think it's a great idea. I think they could have gotten other resource officers. Instead of one, maybe having two officers at the school. There's other things that I think they could have done to ensure safety for all who come on campus.
There's one thing that they could do right now. Stop selling assault rifles to individuals.
Sorry. I think the best thing they could do right now, and I like your idea, but now you could essentially, with the right machinery, you could build your own gun. That's where we are today. I do think you need to have people, just like you get your car check and your license check on a yearly basis. People need to do the same thing for their
gun license. I mean, I get that. I get that. And I'm not trying
to say take your guns away. I think you need guns. I think that's your right to have.
I agree. It's your right.
You safe, your family safe. If somebody come in, I don't care who it is, they bust in the door, they don't have no right to do that. You got a right to protect yourself.
I agree.
But I do think if you're gonna have that, those rights do come with, you know what? At least let me make sure that it's like driving a car. Man, having that car that's the one thing I'll never forget from my driver's ed instructor. Thank you, coach. that car is a weapon. You're driving something that can kill not just you, but other people on the road. We take it for granted. You got the texters and drivers and the makeup and drivers and the music pumpers and drivers. You're not really focused on the road, not knowing that this I'm behind a weapon.
Yeah.
And this could technically hurt or harm someone or kill someone.
Yeah.
Not used correctly. Same thing with a gun. And with the car, you got to get a check every year. Let me make sure you got your insurance, your registration, make sure everything is up to date. If we could do that for the car, then why not do it for your weapons? I think it's only right to make sure that whoever's carrying that firearm has the ability to carry it.
Yeah, I agree. But I don't know. It's just something. It just seems like it's just out of control.
It
just seems out of control. It is, and it feels like nobody really, as far as our lawmakers are concerned, it seems like they ain't getting it. To me,
it's a topic that's been talked about, discussed, and tried to do things, but I don't think they put enough teeth behind it because, again, a lot of these companies they throw in buco dollars to ensure that the laws stay on their side.
Right.
I don't want to lose the income that I'm generating from doing what I'm doing.
Right. I don't know. I just feel like there are some things that can be done. And I think that they just don't want to do those particular things for whatever reason. I don't know.
It's tough because you get too much of the, all right, after the mass shooting, you know what, we sorry and we're praying for the family.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times we got to hear that?
And we've had like so many, and we haven't even made it to June.
We sorry, we praying for the family, and hopefully, I mean, at some point we got to say, okay, what can we do? And I think that's the same thing they did with driving. You know, at one point you could drive without your seatbelt. But they were seeing all these accidents where the person who was driving got themselves hurt or killed because they didn't have on a seatbelt.
Seatbelt.
Now, because of that, they put legislation in place to say, all right, if you want to drive, you need to have a seatbelt. Click it or ticket.
Right.
So it's the same thing. You're going to have this gun. We're not saying take it away. But there's going to be where we need to at least make sure you registered and that you're good to go to have this weapon.
Right. I'm wondering, what is it gonna take, or what has to happen for y'all to really sit down and think about this? How are these? I can't even say it no more. So, friends, I was scrolling through Instagram,
right?
And Rickey Smiley popped up, offering all of this love and father figure opportunities and care.
Okay.
To Brian McKnight's older children from
his
first relationship.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, what happened? What is going on? So apparently, Brian McKnight has disowned his first set of children.
Yeah.
What kind of foolishness?
But you know, when I heard about this is before even Rickey Smiley. I was listening to something on YouTube. I was like, what's going on? I was kind of shocked too. I do think too that we don't know the full story.
Of course.
You know, we don't know what those kids have been doing.
What kind of full story can you give me to disown your children?
I listen. Maybe those kids, I'm not saying this is what happened. Well, maybe they tried to do X, Y, and Z to the father. They tried to take his money. And I don't think they've done any of that because we would have heard it, right? But I'm trying to play both sides because you're right. Like, what could you do? And then, you know, you're in a position where you're there. You could help. You know, they need a couple of dollars. I got you. Like, is it the
not
money?
Even that? They didn't ask to be here. You one got brought them. You brought them here.
You brought them here.
And then dude has changed his name so he can have another junior.
Yes, I saw that. I was like, oh my God, he done told the boy, no, you're not junior no more. I got another junior.
Another junior.
Because you can't be junior. The way you acting right now, I'm taking the junior away from you because I'm going to give it to somebody else.
I'm like, what is going on?
Oh God!
I'm like, what?
Yeah, but you know, I through the years I've heard these things about, and I love Brian McKnight, listening to him growing up, right? But through the years, it's like, nah, he's cocky, he's this, he's that, he's arrogant, and he's not who you think he is.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, I'm gonna just listen to the music because I'm like. But this one right here took the cake. I'm like, man, you just told them y'all don't belong to me.
Took the cake for real. So now your children are your stepchildren, and then your one new child.
Yep.
What kind of that just? I'm like, what in the name of fatherhood is going on?
And I heard this from one of the shows. One of his kids was dealing with an illness.
Yes, I heard that too.
And was building back up, and now here you got to deal with this. Like, this is the time where you want your father to, you know, to be there to encourage and motivate you through this. And now I'm like, you know, again, what did they? Even if they didn't do something, had to happen. But you know what? It might just be him when nothing happened. It's just him being out of his mind. Because I'm still trying to give him the benefit of the doubt that, you know what, maybe they went after him. They said something about him. They're siphoning his money. What? It got to be something, and I can't. There's nothing.
I was trying to find it too. I'm just not that good at it. But I was like, well, what did he say? Like the only thing that I did see was he was saying that they were negative, and he just couldn't operate in a negative space, and somebody's evil. I don't know whether he was talking about him or the ex-wife, or they were born in sin or something. I'm like, dude, these your kids, these your children.
It's your kids. It's your kids.
Now, whatever you and the mama got going on, leave that to you and the mama.
It's hard when you say that though, because there's a lot of mamas who, because I'm vexed with the father, and I might still even be in love with him. I'm gonna use you, child, to get at the father, to hurt him, to put him down, and father's trying to do all he could do, but mom has used those kids as a tool of revenge.
Okay, I get that, but you the daddy, and you still don't disown your children.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I tried to figure out what it is. I'm like, well, so they had to do something. What did they do? They're like,
you know what? Why are you saying they did something? This is Brian McKnight being crazy, I think.
And I that's what I had to come down to. Brian McKnight has lost his mind, and now he's going, he said, forget you, I got a whole new family. I ain't coming back.
Right.
I ain't coming back. He done found his sunshine. Tell your mom I ain't coming back no more. Oh, God. Love you guys. Tell her I ain't coming back no more.
That is some craziness here.
Oh, man. I don't know a father who could do that.
You do now, Brian McKnight.
But there's a lot of fathers who do that. I think is in his case, like, I'm still trying to find a reason, and I guess there is no reason. He is the reason.
No, well, what I will say, without putting my business out in the street, there are people who probably were not ready to be parents.
I would agree.
And the only reason we really know about what Brian McKnight did is because we have all of this social media, and they post all their business on all this social media. But
he posted.
That's what I'm saying. They post. Yeah. You wanted people to talk about this.
If he didn't post that, nobody would have really known, because I don't think
it would have got out eventually. Because he's a public figure. Eventually it would have got out.
Is he a public figure at this point? Now, Brian was great in the 80s and the 90s.
Well, maybe that's it. Maybe it's so that his name could be,
Yeah, but get some more attention. Get your name back out.
Yeah.
Like, if he puts an album out today, I don't know if he's going to get the same type of love, because again, and then what you going to be singing about? You just disown your kids.
But people gonna buy it. People gonna buy it to see if it's some music in there that talk about what you just did.
You're right.
Yeah. So what I will say is, I don't think this is something that's new.
No, it's not.
Because there are, again, like I said, there are people who were not ready to be parents. If you think about the Oops babies and the father who said, go get an abortion, I don't want to be a dad.
Right.
And the mom who said, I'm going to have it anyway.
Right.
I mean, what do you do about that?
But this is a different situation, because the kids are grown. These are not like little babies. Like, you have already raised these kids.
That is the crazy part.
Like, dude, they're not your. So we're saying kids, but really they're adults.
They grown people. Yeah,
grown people. Like, if he didn't share that information, nobody, those people, they got their own lives. They got their own thing that they doing. And here you go saying, well, you're not Junior no more.
Right.
Man, these kids got their own lives going, and you just
well, that's the other part I was tripping on when I saw Ricky Smiley post. At first I was like, oh my God, these poor babies. And then as he kept talking, I was like, these grown people.
They're grown people.
What they need with a father figure now?
Well,
I mean, I get mentorship. Don't get me wrong.
I think that's the other thing. Once a father, always a father. Once a mother, you always gonna. I just saw this the other day. The lady said, you know, mothers don't look at the kids as grown,
right?
Because you always gonna be their baby boy or their baby girl,
right?
And I do think the same with fathers. Fathers, it's hard, you know, to say, well, yeah, that's when she's grown up. Now he's grown up. They always see you in the way that they saw you, right? Yeah. And you're always going to be a resource to that person, you know, whether you're 20, 50, 480. Yeah. There's always a reason to go to mom and say, hey, you know, she got something that she could give to you, whether it's good advice or just some loving. Yeah. Something.
So maybe that's what Ricky was offering them. You know, we take fatherhood seriously, da da da. But when I was like, oh, I just felt so bad. I thought they were young, da da da. And then I'm like, wait a minute, why is he like, y'all can come get your love here, da 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 da. I'm like, these grown people. I mean, I get it.
They don't need to come.
I get the support. I get him and the support, but he just kept harping on this fatherhood stuff. And I'm like, okay, Ricky, yeah.
I think Ricky's more about his son and his relationship with his son. But
I think that was hard for him.
Yeah,
definitely. And you not being able to help.
Yeah,
yeah.
And where here's a situation where you're the father and you have the means to help. Yeah, like I think one of them has some type of issue. I got to go back and look at it. But this is the time the father should be the father.
I guess he done.
This is the time, but I guess he's like, no, I'm not. This is not for me. I'm done. I'm gone. Oh God,
that was too much for me. I was like, really, dude. The one that really got me was the change of your name. Really?
Yeah. And I don't know if he could do that. Like, you're not Junior. I'm gonna give this Junior to somebody else.
I mean, the Brian McKnight Jr. will always be Brian McKnight Jr. because that's what's on his birth certificate. But he changed added a middle name or changed the middle name or something like that, so that the new baby could be Brian whatever McKnight Jr.
Maybe he's writing a new will where these people his original kids can't get no, money or whatever.
Well, I'm sure he probably has done that. I don't know. But yeah, that's some craziness. Okay, speaking of money. Why is it such a big deal? And why are people saying that this money that came to FAMU is a hoax?
Oh, Lord, I just had a conversation. First off, I got a chance to meet him slightly. Just, hey, how are you? Very polite young man, young individual. I was like, okay, nice to meet you. This is before the actual graduation. I was ripping and running around campus, but the one thing I realized, because I said something's up, because he had a security guard with him, right? And I said, okay, well, he might be somebody, because he's not everybody walking around with a private security guard.
Right.
One of the things I think we have to learn is the difference between being rich and being wealthy.
True.
I think as a community, when we think these people are wealthy, they're actually just rich. And even when we say that they're wealthy, well, they're wealthy because they play a sport, they dance, they sing, they do something entertainment wise for them to have this type of access to money.
Mm-hmm.
Where really that real wealth, man, they could walk right past you, you wouldn't even know.
Right.
It's not the person you see on Instagram, YouTube, TV, cable. That's not the person who's probably the biggest mover and shaker. It's that person that's so humble.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what hold on, I might have to mute myself because JT just texted and said he was trying to get in.
He in the wrong room.
Let me...
Oh God.
Uh-oh, sorry. So, oh, we got a comment in the chat. Hold on.
Listen.
So,
money is there. Let it be. Whatever he gives, he get. Why we always it don't make sense for people to be in this man's pockets and you didn't donate. It's like the people who be talking the most. Did you donate? Did you even give something? We just had a day of giving last month. No, this month.
Yeah. No. It was in April.
We just had the day of giving in April.
Yeah.
Did you give?
Yeah.
But you worried about what this person's doing and where you know, Drake is in the beat right now. Drake is like going through his beats with everybody, but there's a line that he says is still infamous. You wasn't with me shooting in the gym. You wasn't with me when I was working and doing X, Y, and Z, and now you in my pockets. Let's not.
Yeah.
All I want to say is thank you for the donation.
Yeah.
We appreciate you. We want to garner this relationship because this university is making some major impacts on lives that will be affected far long after this money done ran out.
Right. That part. And I'm trying to figure out, I'm like, okay, first of all, FAMU is an institution that is 130 some years old, number one. Do you really think that we have uninformed people at the helm? I will put everything I got on Dr. Friday Stroud.
Yep.
And they're not sitting down here just waiting on a handout and not vetting it.
Correct.
Come on, really? So FAMU not smart enough to spot a hoax? Give me a break.
Listen, I said this earlier today. Even if he said it was 200 million and you just got 2,000, you just got more money than you had yesterday. So just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. Again, and this is a thank you. I hope he may never hear this from anybody else, but I got to put it out into the airway. We appreciate you and we thank you. We thank you for the gift. You know, not everybody understands what that means and how that looks like.
Yeah.
A lot of people who are haters because they want to be in those shoes.
Yeah.
They're trying to figure out, well, wait, you don't got to figure it out.
Right.
You just
need to say, business.
It's not your business. Again, did you give? Did you give? They didn't say you had to give 2 million. They didn't say, did you give $2? You actually, these people didn't give 2 cents. But they got 2 cents to share about who's doing what and where. That's none of your business.
None.
Just know that the income is going towards pushing FAMU forward.
None.
That's none of your business.
So we did have a comment. I can't post it because I'm not in the other room. So a friend of mine, Alethea, she was just commenting on the pastor thing about him saying it had been 4 years in the making. So they had been talking with the person and what she was doing for
He
4
said
years.
that in the interview.
Yeah, he said that in the interview.
He did this, he did that.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: even with him doing what he did, will that stop her?
Apparently,
it may not.
No.
Correct. She gonna keep doing. That's what I'm saying. Certain people sometimes that is how they're gonna release whatever it is they need to, and it may not be as common as everybody else, but that's a way of releasing. And maybe as a pastor,
I guess we just don't know the relationship and what's going on, because
and that's exactly what
the other part I thought was strange was where she was positioned. Mm-hmm. Because it looked like she was behind him.
She was behind him.
Which means, was she a part
maybe
of the praise team of the choir?
Yeah.
Which means those people usually have a little closer relationship with the pastor and the leadership team.
And that's why I said, was he in his feelings to say, okay, this is 4 years, I've tried, we talked about this, and right now I'm trying to do something, and you just you're poking the bear right now. Now I let you try. Now you poking the bear, and now I'm in my human. I'm not in the spiritual right now. I'm in.
I get what you're saying. You know I get what you're saying. But I don't think so. I think he was just like, okay, now it has to come to open rebuke.
And again, does the open review even help? Because she probably still going to do it again. Right? She's been doing it, and you still haven't picked up that this is who she is. This is what she does, especially when you said 4 years now. Okay, well, there at my church, there's a sweet old lady. She sits in the front pew, and every Sunday you can count on it like a rooster in the morning. She'll just keep on, yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. I mean, she'll keep doing it through the whole service, right? But pastor just says, that's who she is. I'm going to just keep on going, doing my thing. And sometimes he uses it to, edify whatever he's doing. But he knows that she's just there. She's happy to be there. We happy she even makes it sometimes to church. So, I mean, I think he got into his feelings, but I do think she was wrong if she knows that this is not what we're looking for.
She knows.
Yeah. So it's kind of, to me, I'm on a 50-50 thing right here.
She knows.
I'm on that 50-50 line.
But now Bethel worship is definitely different from a Pentecostal worship.
Oh, big time. Big time. It's not the same. When you talk about Baptist and Pentecostal, and you
no. I didn't say Baptist.
That's a whole Bethel. And Baptist too is different.
I said Bethel.
There's different strokes.
There's different folks. Bethel is a different worship than Pentecostal. I didn't say Baptist, because some Baptists do a Pentecostal worship.
I would agree too.
So I said Bethel is different from Pentecostal worship.
Yeah, 100%. I don't know. Again, it's what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Because if she does it again, what he gonna do? Keep shushing her every single time?
Yeah.
That's. I mean, again.
Yeah. He gonna have to, and again, it's probably gonna turn some people off. But in my opinion, when lives are at stake, and I know we don't look at it in that way, but somebody's spiritual life is at stake in those moments. And if you have a person that is doing what they're doing and not concerned about that, then you gotta uproot that.
Well, it's the same thing you said earlier. Somebody could be transformed by what she's doing too.
If that was the case, it would be 4 years in the making. Because you can't.
Because we don't know when that time she did it, and it sparked fire. It sparked the emotions. It sparked the. There it is, right there. And that's exactly what we needed to get this place going.
So I'm thinking that it hasn't ever, if they've been talking to her for 4 years. But again, we're not there.
Yeah, we're not there.
We don't know. We haven't been there.
We're not paying tithes over there. So
that's right, friends. We're not doing no offerings over there.
You ain't made no contribution.
So
but
stay
you
out them people business.
Let me stay out of their business.
That's stay out of them people business.
That's their church. She could go there and cause all that, whatever. Go ahead, girl. Go ahead. Go ahead. You ain't give a nickel.
Oh, that's another. We got another good comment from R.L. Washington. Folks trying to understand spiritual in the natural sense, and you can't, which is true.
Yeah, I would agree to that.
Which is true.
That's all I'm saying. I don't know if he was in his natural, if he was in his spirit, or he just got it, just hit him, and then now I'm in my natural, because again, now I'm frustrated because I'm trying to get into the spirit, and you just keep poking the bear. So now I got to say something.
I mean, friends, I don't want to believe that he was in his feelings.
Of course.
But I do understand the inclination as a pastor, as your spiritual leader.
Yeah.
And I have come to you and talked to you.
Yep.
And it's like kids, and you still keep doing this.
Yep.
Then at some point I do have to give you an open rebuke.
Yep.
And if I have to do it, sometimes that don't feel good. It's like, why are you making me do this? In some sense. But there are lives at stake. I can't let you keep doing this.
And again, if he's the leader, that's why I'm not paying enough tithes over there. But if that's who you say is that's my leader, that's the
leader.
That's who's leading the charge.
Yeah.
And you got to follow suit.
Yeah.
You got to follow.
And again, the other part for me was, as soon as he did it, she closed him out.
Yeah. Well, I think too, she got embarrassed. She probably got embarrassed. This is not only in front of the whole congregation, but this is also, being taped. It's live.
Right. Right. But you didn't, I don't think you really saw her face, so you didn't really get to see exactly who it was.
But the people,
yeah,
everybody else saw it, so you're gonna get it. You're gonna feel embarrassed, right? Because you're trying to get in your spirit, you're trying to get something out of that. I need a release today, Lord, and you stopped it. You stopped it. You stopped it.
I think she wanted attention. But anyway, again, I wasn't there, Lord. I'm not trying to take your place. I don't want to see the judgment, because that's too much responsibility. So I'm gonna get myself up out of there.
Listen,
no,
my nickels and my coins are not over there, so I have nothing. Nothing that I said tonight affects anything that's happening over there.
Lord. Okay, so listen.
FAMU situation. Listen, I don't got nothing to do with you.
Right.
Just go ahead, leave it alone. Yeah.
Right. Oh, people can be just such haters, but it's okay.
It's okay.
We're gonna spend that money.
Well, I love what he said too. It's not just the money was given, but it's being given for certain things.
Sure.
I'm not just throwing this money at y'all. No, we already know exactly where it's going to be spent, what it's going to be, what's going to be done with it.
Yeah. I thought it's an endowment, right?
It's an endowment, but he gave it in the form of stocks.
Okay.
As we reread it today. I read it today. He gave it into the form of stocks, and those stocks will be switched over into cash.
Okay.
I don't think they're taking it all out in one sum at one time. So it'll come out the way they needed to come out.
Sure.
But again, you said it earlier. We have some amazing people who are leading the charge on campus.
Sure.
And they're not gonna just take anything.
Absolutely.
So we got to trust the people who are leading the charge and say, yeah, they got this, and they've been doing this. He's not the first one to give that type of donation. Well, that large, yes, but we've had other people to give some real dollars.
Yeah. So let me stop friends, because he'll just keep talking and talking and talking. Listen, friends, next week.
Yes, ma'am.
We're gonna talk about hair.
Oh, okay. Good hair, bad hair. What does that look like?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. No, not necessarily good hair, bad hair, but we're gonna talk about how hair make you feel.
Okay.
So yeah, so I got some folks lined up to come and talk with us.
Okay.
It's gonna be good.
All right.
So we'll be back here next week.
Same time, same place.
Same time, same place, 9:00 on Thursdays. Feel free to come and join us on Kitchen Talk. Hopefully, my technology will be a little better. But you know what? It's been one of those weeks, so I'm really not all that shocked about it. So listen, if you are watching us on YouTube, please press the subscribe button, turn on your notifications so you'll never miss another show. Yep. If you are watching us on Facebook, hit the like button. Also, turn on your notifications so you'll always get all of this good hot topic conversations that we have. And I'll try to, make sure friends keep his within the hour.
When the food is good, you got to eat it.
You got to keep eating. That is so true.
You got to eat it.
So this has been a great one. Shout out to JT. He was trying to get in. I'm not sure what's going on with him. Shout out to Marvin Scott, who joined us last week. Marvin was on last week. Hopefully he's feeling better. Yeah. Listen, thank you for watching. We really
Miss Black. You got to shout out Miss Black.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Kim. I talked to her earlier, yesterday, I think. But shout out to Kim Black, the parent snitch. Maybe she'll join us next week. But listen, you all definitely come back and join us next week. Same time, 9:00 on Thursday. This has been a really, really good one. And I really appreciate you guys. We got a good old thumbs up from One Cool Rattler. Thank you, Dee. So we're going to say goodnight. I'm going to put myself on mute so I can end the show. You got to love this technology, right?
I love it.
So we're going to say goodnight.
Bye.
Let's talk. What you wanna talk about? Let's talk. What you wanna talk about? Kitchen Talk.